Alright, boys and girls, we're back for another video. This one is for some difficult exponent questions on the ACT math. If you notice, they're all from the 40s and 50s, really some of the harder questions. Let's take a look at some of them, but I will actually show you how to hack some of them as well. Really, trying the answer choices works for a lot of these questions, as I'm sure you know. Let's try 58 first on the left-hand side. This one's kind of difficult, but it's a skill that I always teach. It's called disguise. Really, is 32 really 32? Not really. It's actually 2 to the x minus y equals 2 to the 5th. Again, 2 to the 5th is 32. They're giving us these funky numbers of 32 and 8 for a reason. Same thing with 8. 8 isn't really 8. 8 is actually 2 to the 3rd. I'll say that one more time. 32 isn't really 32, it's 2 to the 5th. I have another video on this topic. It's called disguise. Really, if you look at my channel, some exponent questions will use this skill. Now, why is this important? Well, you can set this exponent equal to this because the bases are the same. Again, this exponent set to this exponent because the bases are the same. So really, I have x minus y equals 5. And x plus y equals 3. At which point, this actually becomes a system of equations. Really, there's two equations here, a system of equations, if you will. And what's nice about this is, as you can see, this y and this y, if you add straight down, will cancel. Again, they will eliminate. Elimination. So this is actually going to become 2x equals 8. X equals 4. Well, in any system of equations, if you have one of the variables, you can always find the other. Plug 4 back in for x. We have 4 plus y equals 3. What must y be? Well, you can solve it if you want, but when you solve it, you find that y is equal to -1. The answer is G. Kind of a tough one there, but pretty cool. Let's keep moving. That was 58. You could also try plugging answer choices in, really, for y. You could try plugging -1 in and see if it gets you close to something. It should. So that always works too, if you didn't like my way. Let's try another one. 56 on this right-hand side. This one's a little bit different. I'll give you a minute to pause and try the question if you'd like. But if you want to just watch along, please do. I'm going to use a skill called power sum to start this question off. Really, if you take a look, this isn't really x to the 1/4, and this isn't really x to the 1/6. You're going to want to end with an actual radical, right? So we'll talk about power sum in a second, but first let's rewrite the question. 1/4 times x to the 1/6. And remember, through multiplication of exponents like this, through multiplication, what do? You add them. Just to give you a reminder, if I have x to the 7th times x to the 5th, what's x to the 7th times x to the 5th? Of course, x to the 12th. You add exponents. So I want to add this and this, so I have x to the 1/4 plus 1/6. But the reason that this question is a 56, it's difficult, is because when you're adding fractions, you also need something special. You need a common denominator, at which point this will become x to the 3/12 plus 2/12, common denominator of 12, and this now is x to the 5/12. Well, if that's the case, now we use that skill of power sum. In other words, the exponent right here will become an actual radical. So this is going to become 12th root of x to the 5th. Remember that the denominator becomes the power of the root. Power root. My mistake. Not power sum. So again, this denominator will become the power of the root. So the answer for me is J. Pretty cool there. That was 56. I'm going to move on to one last question down here. Let's try 47. And this is another one where you can actually hack. You can actually just try answer choices in for x, of course plugging y in for 6 as well. So that's a cool way to do this question. But the real way, I'll show you. Again, 9 isn't really 9. 9 is actually 3 to the second. I'll say that again. This is going to become 3 to the x times 3 to the third equals 3 to the second to the y minus 6. As you can see, all of these are now in base of 3. That's why, again, they're giving you funky, juicy numbers. They're giving you these numbers so that you can figure out some kind of a trick, and that's the trick, to put them all in base 3. Let's finish up here, really, because what do you do with the power of a power right here? 3 to the second to the y minus 6? Well, you multiply. This will become 3 to the 2y minus 12, of course, distributing this 2 to both. And now I have 3 to the 3 plus x. And now we're just about done, reminding you that actually with multiplication of exponents, again, what did I do? I added them, so that's 3 plus x. And now we're about done because remember, y is 6. If y truly is 6, let's plop that in. This is a big fat 6. So this is 3 to the 12 minus 12, which actually becomes 3 to the 0 equals 3 to the 3 plus x. Well, x just equals negative 3. That was a lot of work for this question, and it really does take some mastery of exponents to catch all that. But if you didn't know all that, if you wanted to just do it more simply, you could have just tried the answer choices for this one. Really, when you plug 6 in, you have 6 minus 6, y to the 9 to the 6 minus 6, that's 9 to the 0, which is really 9 to the 1. So you have 9 to the 0, which is just, again, 1, equals 27 times 3 to the x. Well, you could try answer choices, really. You could try negative 1, you could try negative 2, you could try 0, you could try 3, but the answer choice that will actually work is negative 3. And that's obviously done in your calculator if you want, or if you have your calculator, but you could also try it by hand. It's 27 times 3 to the negative 3 equals 1. Well, this is 27 times 1 over 27 equals 1. These 27s both cancel. You have 1 equals 1. Check mark. Perfect. The answer here is A, regardless of how you do it. So that's a cool little hack for a lot of these exponent questions in case you get stuck or in case you forget how to do something. Just try the answer choices. It almost always works. Anyways, that's it for this video. I hope that helped. If you liked it, leave a like, a share, or a subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.